Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Donnie, aka Moxeev, and in today's video, we're kind of in a different setting. I'm sitting on my couch with my windows open. It's 8 o'clock and I'm so sad it's already dark. And hopefully you won't be able to hear the fridge running, but I wanted just to film this quick video. As you can see from the title, I have my laptop right here. It's gonna be what I do as a PCA in the PACU. First of all, PCA stands for Patient Care Assistant, and PACU is a post anesthesia care unit. So basically you'll go there once you're done with surgery. Let me just dive into it. First of all, I've been working there for 2 months, 2.5 months, almost 3 months I think, and I guess I won't say I love it, just because some days, like with every job, you know, there's pros and cons, and that's another video I want to do, a pros and cons of doing that. I like it a lot more better than my old job. What I wrote is like completely different what I'm about to say, but first of all, I like to mention that I thought this PCA job was gonna be an actual PCA job, like, you know, changing, cleaning, doing all this extra stuff, but it's really not, just because it's different just with like the area in general. And we had to do like a quick day class in a different campus to get trained on, and we got trained on that day like on actual piece, because it was only for PCAs. And so that was like real PCA stuff, like doing all that extra stuff. And I told my sister, she's like, well, you might not like that, because I was that at a nursing home and she was only there for like a month or two and she did not like it. But this job is completely different. I'll run through my duties on what I do. If you ever been to a hospital, I'm like literally, my coworker, she called us glorified escorts or transporter, depending on the hospital you're at. Just basically those people who push patients around in wheelchairs or in carts. That's what we're doing. We're going up to the floors, bringing down the patients for surgery, and once they're done, we'll bring them up. So it's a lot of walking around, moving around, which I don't mind because it's fairly easy. That is one part of our job. Well, basically the most part of the job is doing that, transferring or moving around patients to and from surgery. Now the actual PACU duties that we do. First of all, we stock the blanket warmer. We have about three blanket warmers. So all, you know, just throughout the day, our shifts, you know, we have certain sections, and it's like 2, 3, or 1 person per section. So basically, but overall, everyone just kind of checks on the blanket warmer, just because that's the most used thing there. And we also have these little individual carts for each bay. Like, let's say there's an A section and there's 4 different bays, like different little rooms with curtains, not really rooms, but they have a little white cart for the nurses that they use. And then we have 3 larger carts, which is essentially the same supplies, but just more of it in a bigger cart. And then once the patients come back from surgery, the first thing we will do is either a PCA, me and other PCA, or me and a nurse. We will then be able to basically turn or settle the patient in. First thing we do is take the temperature in the mouth, armpit, or ear. Just introduce yourself. I like to introduce myself to the patient and just say to them, hey, I'm going to take your temperature. Sometimes, well, kind of varies patient for patient, coming out of anesthesia, so they could be like awake, groggy, or like nothing at all. So we do that. We would also get a new pillow for them so they can lay on that. And then after that, the temperature is taken, we have our pillow, we are able to turn the patient then side to side, take out the extra sheets from beneath them. It's like a blue surgical one, just to make sure there's nothing miscoloration, nothing's wrong with their back, where they had, on their back. Make sure they have like a MEPI, that's a short term, MEPILEX, I think is the actual terminology for that. Basically the patch their surgical team will put on the patient so they don't, like, their back doesn't really hurt during surgery. So no miscoloration. Also check for bleeding if there's any excess blood or anything. If they do, we'll have to, actually when I was still, I think I was like 2 weeks and this lady was bleeding a lot and I had to kind of just step out just because I was starting to feel nauseous. So that's one thing we do. Second one, we'll boost up the patient, basically go where their head is. They have a sling right underneath them. Some patients will, most of them, it kind of varies if they're outpatient or inpatient. Outpatient, they won't have a sling. Well, most patients will have a sling, but it's most important for the inpatients, the patients who are staying in the hospital, to have one, because we'll transfer them on that sling and move them over to their new bed. It's like a little hammock thing. So we'll boost them up, also with a pillow on underneath their back. And to find out if they're inpatient or outpatient, we'll ask the nurse, but that could also change, you know. But after that, we will either connect or remove the SCDs, which is basically to help blood flow to the legs to prevent blood clots. We'll drain any like bulbs, I wrote this down, drains, bulbs, or catheters. We also got trained on that during orientation. So if it's filled up all the way, you know, kind of empty it out. That was like my one biggest fear of doing, is that. Then we'll have to say the measurements, and sometimes the nurses will want a visual of what the pee or the blood looks like. And once that is all done, just ask the nurses if they need anything, and for the most part that's it, and just repeat on to the next patient. So I would like to mention, in the morning we would do prepping or clipping, which is basically shaving. For the most part, it's the nipples to pubis area. So like this belly area, you can't even see it, this belly area, it's mostly for the males. I did do my first armpit on a woman a few weeks ago, so that was pretty cool, but we'll just shave the hair with a razor. Yes, I needed that for surgery. But that is basically all I do at work. It is pretty relaxed, and kind of glad it's this type of work and not actual PCA stuff, because I feel like that would be too much and I would get grossed out and tired easily. So but I do appreciate the PCAs that work on the floors upstairs, just because that seems like a lot of work. That's all I got for this video. If you guys have any questions about my job, or have any other types of stuff you want to comment, just do that down below. I do want to do like more work related stuff, but I've been wanting to do this video for the longest time, and I'm glad I finally filmed it. That's all I got for you guys. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, comment down below anything you'd like to comment. I just love reading what you guys have to say, and of course subscribe. I appreciate everyone watching my videos. It means a lot to me, even though I'm just talking to a camera, I'm talking to my phone, but it's just really comforting for me at least to like just blab out, say whatever. And just editing, the whole YouTube process is really relaxing, sometimes frustrating, but it's something I'm proud of and keeps me occupied. Goodbye.